Test. Crawls out of coffin. Yeah. Hello. Can everyone hear me? Greetings. Bye. Good morning, all. Good morning. Hello. Thank you. Yes, also hope chat is doing well today. Good morning, Lushroom. Good to see you. Love your Lushroom spins. Beautiful mushroom spins. Hello, Meta. Hello, Osamu. Banhayo. Top of the morning to you. Good morning, Bird. Literal morning for Bird. Good morning, Mario. Good morning, Wolf. Good morning, She. Good morning. Oh, good morning, Viper. Yeah, hey. Indeed. Curls on. So, I indeed made a schedule this week, and I will do my best to keep to said schedule. I want the biggest good morning. Good morning, Bird! Oh, hey. Very big. Oh. Hello. Thank you so much, Swammy TV, for the raid. Hello, Raiders. I am Bun. We haven't even gotten started yet, but how is everyone doing? Hope you had a good stream. Hello. Greetings. So, the plan today is to get through a little more of our Katawa Shoujo playthrough. It's taking like a small eternity, I'm not gonna lie. So I do apologize that we can't speed through it that much quicker. I'm a bit slow cruising with my Bunley eye bags. Glad you ended on a win. Hello, Charm. G'day. Thank you, Final Thief. Thanks so much for enjoying the Bun villain model. Hello, Dashing Demon. I'm okay, getting by. Trying to do more things while simultaneously not being at my desk too much. It's not quite working, but I will get back to doing things shortly. Took the biggest good morning, but I have to go to sleep. Good night, Bird. Shall we get started then? Scroll over to our screen and pop on our audio. Hello, Joker. Greetings. Recently I've been... Oh, I'm... Gotta get small in my seat. Hold on. Do. Mola. Has Bun eaten breakfast at midday? I sure would hope so. But yes, I have. Hope you have eaten as well. I think... Enjoy your cleaning, Lushroom. Work well. Tea. I didn't have tea this morning, I just had water. It was a pretty, just cobbled leftovers meal. I've been having, mostly later night streams recently. Either that, or I get the impression that I have been because I record all of my go to sleep, all of my go to sleep videos at night. And so I always get the impression that I'm streaming at night, even if I'm not live. I'm eating dinner right now. Good time to eat dinner. But it's good to see some of the folks that I would only catch in the day otherwise. I'd like to be able to have like viewers who come to see me during the night, and then folks who will see me during not my night, aka EST Eve. Hello, Ube. Thank you so much for the punch and quarter team. Fun frog. But yes, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because, so tomorrow for me, but early morning Wednesday on the schedule, I decided to note down that I was going to stream late at night and see if I can maybe make it more of a regular thing. Who knows? Who knows? But having a foot in different time zones, I think, isn't a bad thing either, especially when you live in an obscure place like I do. Hello, Zero. Good to see you too. So, another day in the life of Hisao. I haven't seen Yuko in a while either, and neither have the girls. For all these reasons, plus the fact that it's so close, I end up standing in front of the little tea shop with Shizune and Misha before I know it. Flower Eyes Bun, you always make this redeem. Thank you so much for the Flower Eyes Bun redeem, Zero. I guess I have no choice but to on them for yet another Katawa Shoujo play. Hope you blink blink. Enjoy the they're my favorite. Oh, thank you. I'm grateful that you like them. Anyway. Ding ding. Welcome. It's been a while since I heard Yuko's voice, so I'm surprised all over again by the energy she puts into her greetings. Kind of like an extremely nervous Misha. Hi, but you don't have to do that all the time if it's just us. Yes, I do. But... Okay. If you say so, Yuko. She does have a second job. Poor thing. I take this moment to glance around the tea house and notice that it is as empty as ever. It's lunchtime, essentially the peak hour for an establishment of this type, and yet it's as barren as ever. I don't understand. There has to be a reason for this. Is the audio okay for everyone? Just making sure. If my mic is all good. Shizune gently taps my arm to get my attention. What do you want to get? Yuko looks a little agitated after Misha automatically relays the question. No, I'm supposed to ask that. Is there anything that I can do for you? Just some coffee for now, I guess. Thanks. The dedication Yuko has towards her waitressing duties is sort of admirable. So is the speed at which she whisks slices of cake and our drinks to our table-only order. Then again, we are the only customers here. Who knows what it would be like with a full house? Shizune and Misha immediately dig into their cakes with gusto, probably because they can't talk with utensils in their hands. The whole point of sharing a meal with friends like this is being able to talk over it after all. It makes sense that it would be the same with them. I'm barely halfway through my cake when I hear their forks clinking as they set them down on their empty plates. It's not healthy to inhale your food. Hichan sounds like an old man. I cringe and instantly feel like I've been punched. Are you going to wear a yukata tomorrow, Hichan? No, I don't even have one. Well, even if I did, I'm not the kind of guy who does stuff like that. What about you? Are you two going to dress up? Of course. What do you mean, of course? You didn't dress up last time. One time is not a trend. It's a completely different situation anyway. Aside from not being Tanabata, the festival was on school grounds. Students should wear their uniform on school grounds. Clearly a joke, but her delivery isn't any different from the usual. That isn't normal, but her sense of humor never was, and I'm used to it. I guess her way of saying outrageous things seriously is a little better than if she were to say serious things outrageously. What's more troubling in any case is I've started to associate a voice with her signing, and it's clashing with how Misha says out loud everything she's in her signs anyway. I feel disoriented. I'll dress up this time. I'll dress up this time. You'll see, Hi-chan. Not just Hi-chan, but me too. Maybe I'll change my hairstyle too. Don't do that. I can't really imagine you looking differently. Shizune wags a finger and smiles. Such a quick and firm disapproval. What if I were to change my hairstyle? Maybe you should grow your hair out and make it look like Jules. She looks unamused. Luckily, I see Yuko making her way over, likely to clear our plates or ask if we need anything from her. Yuko, are you doing anything for Tanabata? What? It's like she was practicing how to most smoothly ask if I needed a refill of coffee while walking over, but she has no idea what to do having been asked a question first. I feel bad. Yes, I'm working. Yuko, they make you work on holidays? Oh. But we have the most business on holidays, and sometimes tourists. I don't mind. I have to do my best. I understand completely. So admirable. Shizune nods her head in solidarity, feeling a kind of kinship with Yuko through their shared determination to be the best, although for her it's a matter of pride, whereas Yuko might just feel that she really, really needs this job. And maybe a raise. The most business, huh? So, how many people on average during a holiday? Well... Yuko walks away and starts cleaning a cup of squizzle sticks. That isn't polite. This is not what a proper waitress would do. Nevertheless, I sort of got my answer anyway. Clearly, business is scarce at best. I start to wonder again how the Shanghai remains open at all. Maybe this eclectic style of tea house is a trend that was outrageously successful before I got here, but isn't anymore, and they're just keeping it like this while they retool. Maybe the owner is rich and is involved in some sort of bet with someone else, or a crazy scheme to see who can lose the most money. Maybe I just conveniently miss mobs of customers by seconds each visit. Or maybe this place is just a front for arms dealers. Since there's no one else here, why don't you sit down with us? We can talk about economic infeasibility, but Yuko doesn't take the bait, shaking her head from side to side emphatically. I've never really celebrated Tanabata before, or dressed up for anything like this. I'll finally be able to wear my yukata. Yay yay! What do you mean never? What about last year? Last year, Shi-chan, me, and the 3-2 class rep ran a stall for the festival. It was a soba stall, I think? Yeah, it was. Yep. The blind class rep of 3-2 must be Lily. I'm surprised they were able to work together on anything, but Misha would likely be the best possible buffer for that kind of thing with how innocent she is. Chi-chan cooked, and Lily took the orders, and I translated for them. Chi-chan kept saying, "It's so inefficient. Misha, why do you have to be the middleman? As in, why is there a middleman in the first place, huh? It would be fine if I did the cooking and you took orders. It doesn't make sense at all." But I think everyone had fun in the end. Right, Chi-chan? Shizune adjusts her glasses grudgingly, causing Misha to break into laughter. G'day, Lecturer Kaiser. Are you collecting souls? What's this conversation about? It was the old student council's idea, that's why.
So, what was the last student council like then?
Shizune finally decides to step in again, or it's more like she can't help herself. Terrible. That was blunt. She ends with a chopping motion as if passing judgment on them. I hope she's going to elaborate a little. At universities and some private schools, student councils can have control over millions of yen to budget and distribute as needed. Wow, really? Millions? Oh, right, and they are much more involved in school activities too, Hee-chan. From Misha's tone, it seems like this is newer to her than it is to me. Side business. Side business? After this mention of being an arms dealer, guys conducting stuff on the low, no worries, be safe. This school's student council was like a joke in comparison. Don't give people positions of power if they don't have any power at all. What's the point? So, I wanted us to have more and more work. It was hard to convince the school and the other student council members to allow it. Actually, a lot of the work you've seen us do really is work that I took on, which is what Lily was talking about. If it wasn't for Shi-chan, the student council would just file attendance reports day in and day out. Would you prefer that, Hee-chan? Of course, Hee-chan. As soon as the workload started going up, most of the student councils stopped coming. Shizune's fingers fold over each other carefully. It looks like she wants to add something, but she can't bring herself to. Like she said, sign language gives you a little more time to think about what you'd say. I guess she feels like she can't talk about this. That was then, and this is now. Let's just have fun tomorrow. That is what she finally settles for.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Student council is adjourned for today. It has to be adjourned excitingly because today was a good day. School seems to be over by the time we leave the tea house, as I can see students coming down from the school as we walk up the road towards it. A couple people wearing our school uniform look at Shizune as she walks by, and I wonder if they recognize her as the student council president, or if their eyes are just being drawn to Misha's head. It's impossible not to overhear the chatter in the air, and the topic is more often than not plans for Tanabata. I wonder how many of them will be using or going to the stalls that I reassembled. It makes me feel a little pride, an emotion I've never felt doing something for school. Maybe this is how Shizune feels as well. I almost want to ask, but it seems stupid to want to do so. So I just hold on to the thought as the three of us walk onto campus and then separate. Shizune to the student council room and Misha and me to our dorms. It isn't until they're gone that I realize I didn't ask when and where they wanted to meet up tomorrow. Tanabata! Even though it is a holiday, I wake up at the same time as usual on a day when everyone else is likely sleeping in for another 6 hours. I take my morning regimen of pills for the first time in a few days. Admittedly, I'd let my medication slip my mind. Looking at the rows of bottles in front of me, I don't know how I managed to. 17 different medications. I feel full enough to skip breakfast after taking all of them. I'm already up, so I might as well take a walk. The weather looks nice outside, giving off an idyllic atmosphere I'd often dreamed of. It's always been a kind of romantic notion to me to be able to meander around in the countryside, taking in the fresh air. Now that an opportunity to do just that is here, I can't resist, even though I know it must seem silly. I stop at the main building in order to buy a drink and then decide to enter it and maybe hang out on the roof a little bit. The view might be pretty cool at this time, but I'm sure that nobody else will be up there either, and I've never been up there by myself. The school is quiet today, deserted. My footsteps echoing in the staircase to the roof are unnervingly loud. It shouldn't bother me due to how much time I've spent in sign language class and near total silence, or working so much with Shizune lately, but it still does. It makes the smallest noises that I wouldn't have even noticed before seem boomingly loud. It feels like I'm sneaking around someplace I shouldn't be. I wonder why I'm getting that vibe. Maybe the school is haunted or something? Haunted? When I open the door to the roof, I see I'm not alone. Misha leans against the fence, looking over the school grounds, not having noticed me at all. Instantly, I know what I have to do. I have to put my eyes over her hand. Oh, Katawa. To put my hands over her eyes. Getting. I was confused. I have to put my hands over her eyes, not my eyes over her hands. That would be a bit awkward, and not a very good greeting. And say, guess who? It's the only option. I'm doing this all the time. Erika strikes again. I just misread it. Hello, Ronnie. Hello, Ronnie. I won't put my eyes over anyone's hands. I'm doing that now. I'm putting my eyes on my hands. Halfway, I start thinking of how bad this would look if Shizune suddenly popped in, having left for just a second to get some sandwiches and saw me sneaking up on Misha like this. I pray silently that such a coincidental misunderstanding doesn't happen.
Guess who?
Hi-chan! She says without hesitating for a second, without deviating even slightly from her normal tone. My fun was over before it started. Hi, Hi-chan. Good morning. She reflexively tries to move her hands to form a greeting and entangles them in the fencing.
Good morning. I didn't expect to find you here. What are you doing up so early?
I could ask you the same thing, Hi-chan. What are you doing up so early? I didn't expect to find you here.
I asked you first.
You're right. You sound just like Shi-chan.
No, I don't.
I say in the least convincing manner possible. Luckily, Misha doesn't notice what a bad actor I am.
Are you looking forward to tonight?
Of course, Hi-chan. I don't like celebrations, or maybe not as much as Shi-chan does, but Tanobata stands always have interesting things to buy and all kinds of seasonal food. And I get to wear a yukata. The choice of words is a little strange. It sounds like she's saying that she doesn't like celebrations, but likes doing everything involved with them. I don't know if it's worth pursuing, though, and it could be that I just misunderstood. What about you, Hi-chan?
I am, or else I'd just stay home, wouldn't I? That's the logical step.
Hi-chan, you're not that logical. So, that's really surprising. Okay, though. I was just making sure because you didn't look like you were having a lot of fun last time. Me and Hi-chan were a little worried because of that.
Hey, I had fun. I guess I ended up appreciating it more than I expected it. More than I expected to.
Really, Hi-chan? What part of it? Tell me.
Oh, well, there were fireworks at the end. They were really nice. I think you slept through them.
Oh, I always fall asleep early. But I won't sleep through them this year. I'll definitely stay awake.
I don't think they have fireworks during Tanabata. It's a different mood entirely. Maybe you can get Shizune to petition them to have them, though, and to move the fireworks to an earlier time?
Maybe I will. That's a great idea, Hi-chan.
No, it's not. Don't do that. I wasn't being serious. Although maybe it would annoy Shizune.
You make it sound like you would like that, Hichan. Hichan, do you like Hichan? I can't say yes or no, and sitting down like I am, I can't even smoothly leave.
Don't be silly. The one I like is you.
Really, Hichan? No, you're kidding, right? You must like Shichan more.
Misha, you jump to conclusions too much.
But you almost called her Shichan. So, I'm right. Right?
It's because you call her Shichan all the time. It got stuck in my head. Osmosing language is common, you know? Besides, it's one little slip-up. And by your logic, you should like her more than me. And are you making fun of me or something?
Maybe. I'm hungry. Did you eat breakfast, Hichan?
No, just medicine.
Misha twirls her finger lazily in the air to keep her hands busy as she thinks. We should eat something then. Do you think they'll be serving breakfast today?
That's really the kind of thing a member of the student council should know. I can't say that though. I'm on the student council and don't know. It didn't seem like anyone was working in the kitchen when I entered the building, but I don't know for sure.
Hey, Hichan. Have you ever heard about those vending machines that you can get food from, like burgers, soup, and even pizza? Wouldn't it be great if we had some of those at our school?
I don't know. I always thought those machines were kind of weird.
Imagine how cool it would be if we had machines like that at our school, Hichan. It would almost be like magic, wouldn't it? Hot food coming out of a vending machine. That's so amazing. I could never imagine that. Seeing one of those machines would be like a dream. We don't have machines like that in this whole town, though. It's too early to even go into town. We won't be able to eat breakfast, Hichan. That's the most important meal of the day. Everyone says so. I want to eat.
You're really silly. If it bothers you so much, I'll buy you a soda.
Misha puffs out her cheeks and puts on a serious face. Hichan, a soda is not a breakfast. It's like water.
It's not like water, it's a liquid. Water isn't food. Liquid can be food. Now, who sounds like Shizune, Misha? I want to say it. Even her tone reminds me of Shizune's unblinking, matter-of-fact way of stating the ridiculous. If I did say that, though, I would be the one who sounds like Shizune again. It's terrible. The competitiveness is really rubbing off on me. Let's look for something to eat then.
Okay.
Predictably, our search for food in an empty school building this early in the morning leads only to failure. Nisha decides to go off on her own after we both decide to give up for now, vowing to eat breakfast even though by now it's closer to time for brunch. I go back to my dorm. The following hours tick by slowly and I pass the time by catching up on my reading. Some of these books I haven't touched since I was in the hospital. Thinking back on it, it wasn't that long ago, even though it definitely feels like it was. Take care, Meta. A free day and I can't think of anything to do. I take a short nap, and as I change for the second time today, I realize that I never actually confirmed with Shizune or Misha when and where we would meet up. I guess that eventually they would come looking for me, but I would look pretty stupid if it came to that. It's already evening, so I should at least make an effort to find them first. Even though the grounds aren't exactly flooded with people and it should be impossible to miss Misha's pink hair even if they were, I have a lot of difficulty finding them. Finally, I run into them at the front gate, which was the first place I had looked. Hello? she attempts to punctuate her normal greeting with a grand little sweep at the end. Shizune, new outfit. Misha, new outfit. Hee-chan, how are you? It's strange seeing them in yukata, though I've been seeing yukata in general all night. Shizune is simple and tasteful, which seems obvious for her in retrospect. For all her grand flourishes and over-the-top behavior, I think she would rather die than dress the part. What draws my eye is the hairpin she is wearing, a pearl flower that gleams softly in the moonlight. It looks pretty on her, but in a way it also feels out of place, as if it's too elaborate for a high school girl, or maybe just for someone as secretly childish as Shizune. Misha's yukata is about what I expected, so it actually fits a little too well. Paired with her bubblegum pink hair, she looks cute but anachronistic. You two look nice. Thanks, Hee-chan. Hee-chan, you're a little late. We were waiting here a while for you. Did you forget the time or the place? Oh well, let's get going, Hee-chan. Misha dropping this line of discussion saves me what could potentially be a pretty embarrassing thing to own up to, specifically that I'd been looking for them for at least an hour. Seeing Shizune and Misha looking so cheerful, it's hard not to want to fall into the atmosphere and enjoy a nice night out. What bothers me is that I'm having some trouble reading Shizune's signing tonight. I haven't been to sign language class in almost a week, so I'm not surprised. I guess having lost focus for a while, I'm slipping. It certainly wouldn't be the first time.
Hold on. Where are we going? Into town?
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense. We haven't even checked out what's on the ground. Unless you two decided to have fun while I wasn't looking.
We're going to come back. We'll be working our way up. Either way, Hee-chan. We have to walk into town and then back up if we want to see everything. So, this way, after we're done, we'll be right by our dorms when we're tired. It works out perfectly.
That is admittedly logical. Shizune doesn't give me much time to argue anyway, grabbing me by the arm and lightly trying to pull me along. Yay. The streets illuminated only by the light of the moon and low lanterns tinted with tissue paper put me at ease. Now that we're in town, Shizune moves a bit more slowly in order to see the sights. So I decide to walk more briskly in order to mess with her, but she quickly readjusts her own speed to match, letting out a soundless laugh before quickly signing to Misha with her offhand.
What do you want to do first, Hee-chan?
How about some games, if there are any?
I thought you didn't like games, Hee-chan.
I don't mind.
For the second time today, I feel her slim fingers wrapping around mine. It feels like all this time I've been pulled along by Shizune's will. Occasionally, it's quite tiring, but I think that for the most part, I wouldn't say I hate it. It's just the quality of some people to drag others into their lives like a storm. That word fits Shizune sometimes, I think. Although I didn't want to tell Misha earlier today, I do like her.
Hee-chan, you're going to win a doll for me too this time, right?
You're still thinking about that? Okay, I will.
Oops. The time passes by faster than I thought it could. Faster than I thought it could as we run around trying to do as many frivolous things as possible.
Snow cones! Hee-chan, do you want one?
Misha runs towards the stand, not even waiting to hear my answer. They look delicious. I want one too. We'll play rock, paper, scissors to see who can pay for them all.
Or we could each pay for our own.
Hee-chan, what flavor do you want?
The blue one. Blue is not a flavor. I knew that. Ordering something based on color is childish. You're childish. What are you getting? Are you getting strawberry? Huh, that's such a childish flavor. Only children eat strawberry. You should get plain, the most mature flavor of all. I want to know where her personality comes from. I wonder if I would think that way if she hadn't been the first student I ended up having a conversation with on my first day here. It's entirely possible that I'd have missed the parts of her that keep drawing me in. If I didn't know that she couldn't hear me and that she was so competitive and so focused with getting me to join the student council, and so alternatingly playful and sharp, without these constant new facets to keep my interest in her, would I have grown to like her so much? It's likely that I'm overthinking it. Aren't you going to make a wish?
Shi-chan never makes wishes, Hi-chan.
Oh, really? Not even on New Year's? Why is that?
Shizune tenses her fingers and smiles but won't answer. It's a secret. I know. Hi-chan, do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
Shizune alternates between as many forceful iterations of no as she can think of. I'll tell you later, okay? Actually, I feel tired. I think I'm going to go to bed early.
Really? It doesn't feel like it's been that long.
Time flies when you're having fun. But it has, Hi-chan. Maybe I can visit Yuko first and then go back? Or I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter. Have fun without me, okay?
We're going to go back to the school soon anyway, Misha.
Misha doesn't want to hear it and leaves anyway. Shizune starts to wonder why just as soon as I do, but while I keep it in my head, she signs it, seeming to want to discuss the possible reasons. After we're both done seeing all there is to see, I check the time and find that it is pretty late. My energy is starting to wear off, and it's a miracle that I managed to have even this much too. Even Shizune is starting to look a bit tired. We make our way back to the grounds. Shizune seems disappointed when she sees the school building lit up and teeming with students.
Something wrong?
I wanted to go up to the roof, but now there are too many people. I'm tired, so it might be for the best.
There are probably couples on the roof since it's that kind of holiday. Then again, I wouldn't know. Is that how it really is? I'd never really been to any festivals before coming here. I'm disappointed. I thought you said you wanted to see what the school was doing last, like saving the best for last. Now you're telling me you don't want to? Not even a little? I thought you'd have more energy. I don't feel tired.
This seems to spark her competitive spirit, and Shizune immediately perks up, although it's then that I realize I didn't have anywhere in mind to take her, and I don't feel like going to the main building myself. Fortunately, the area behind the school is both deserted and impressive looking today. I'd never appreciated how sprawling and well kept it was until seeing it at night. It almost seems to go on forever in the moonlight. It's very pretty even though it's just a field. I thought earlier that she was too immature to pull off the old-fashioned clothes she's wearing tonight. But right now, she is quite beautiful in them. It makes me think back to that day, the other festival that I went to with her. It looked the same way then. I want to tell her that I like her, decisively, in one go. But even thinking about it is just so awkward. And the more I like her, the more awkward and afraid I am of telling her how I feel, even now when I could do so, if I wanted, without having to go through another person. Not to mention, what if what happened last time happens again? If it does, I might not get off so easily with a months-long hospital stay. I don't even want to think about it. I tried to shove the thoughts out of my mind any way possible. I tried to dismiss them as unlikely fears. Still, The first time I had seen all of my pills, I imagined them cascading before me, enough of them to choke me. Still think about it from time to time. I can't say that it's not a legitimate concern. Times like this are nice enough that I can forget, though. My favorite thing about the school is that it's on top of a mountain.
Is it because it's that much closer to the sky?
All those sour grapes. Yes.
I like it too, but more because of the fresh air. You're so competitive. Too competitive. If a whale bit you, you would bite it back.
That made her laugh, and she winks. Could that be so bad? Her smile is contagious.
Yes.
It's true. I'm terrible, a little. But if I can make people happy, I'm not entirely terrible, am I? Then, it's okay. I have many examples in my defense. Maybe even this moment is a kind of game to her.
That's right.
This is a romantic moment. I don't know if such a chance might come again, and I feel compelled to say something awkward and stupid. If I think about it too much, I doubt my hands will listen to me.
Do you want to be my girlfriend?
I hope that I signed it properly. I feel nervous, as though I want to break into a run, yet I'm rooted to this spot. Couldn't hear a thing just minutes ago. Now I'm picking up every little ambient noise. Really am nervous, and I wonder if it shows. Before, hours passed like seconds. Now,
the seconds pass like eons.
Then I see Shizune's hands moving unsteadily before her, fumbling over each other, stopping halfway through each gesture. It's like she said, sign language gives you an opportunity to think your words through, and she is trying very hard to do that right now. A situation that she doesn't know how to respond to. It must be unthinkable. As stoic as Shizune tries to be, she can't hide her reddening cheeks, and she's very cute and feminine like this, and it puts me at ease to know she is as nervous as I am. The thought is yet another way in which I found myself competing with her. Okay. That's a simple reply, but as soon as I think that, Shizune takes a step forward and embraces me. We got the yes, guys! We got the yes! Black Ace, thank you for the resub for 3 months. I asked Shizune to be my girlfriend, and she was like, sure. She was like, okay, and gave me a hug. And now we're here, and I'm emotional. An unsure and careful embrace, as if I was made of eggshell, and as if she doesn't know how to hug someone. Although, to be honest, it's not a subject I'm familiar with either. Her yukata is cool and silky under my fingers, but I can also feel Shizune's warmth. In the end, she thought this the best possible gesture to show how she felt. Hello, Ash. Welcome. I got the girl. Now we're on to Act 3. Making slow progress, guys. The following days passed uneventfully and with surprising quickness. I find renewed motivation to learn sign language. It seems that I have a knack for learning sign, so it would be a waste not to do it, and falling behind would be even more unacceptable. Summer break is coming up. Even though I figured that student council work would see a drop-off proportional to how lethargic my classes are becoming, It doesn't happen that way. Every day, I get swamped under increasingly meaningless work. Despite how much I want to, I don't even have a free second to talk to Shizune nowadays. Every time I look at her, her face is buried in some book of records or some stack of papers that need to be checked over in triplicate. Today, I woke up early to come to school before everyone else, hoping to catch Shizune. She has a habit of coming in first thing in the morning to be more punctual than all the other students. Unfortunately, I think I'm earlier than her. Hearing the student council room door click close to my right tells me that it isn't the case. I guess I got here just behind her. I enter the room and tap Shizune on the shoulder to get her attention. Maybe she expects a conversation, which is why she puts down the carton of orange juice in her hand. Good morning.
Where's your better half?
We are separate individuals. Thinking about it, they must get that quite a bit. I can think of no other way to explain how ready she was with that answer. You're here early. That's good. You can help me look over some handouts. They're going out later today. I came here early specifically so I could see you without having to do work. According to Misha, being early isn't new for you.
It's not new for you either.
Are you saying you want to race? Shizune adjusts her glasses nonchalantly, a gesture that belies how giddy she is inside about the thought of having something very petty to take competitively and seriously. I think the smaller the matter, the more it excites her.
It's not a race. You want to make it a contest? I don't.
I almost forget to add the last part, the most important part. Well, that's fine. There are too many days left in the school year. I'd get tired of it anyway. With that, Shizune picks up her juice and finishes it off. I wonder if she's going to try and shoot the empty container into the trash, but she doesn't. In fact, she seems puzzled as to why I seem so disappointed. I'd better get to the point.
I just wanted to talk. Our break is practically here, you know. And we should spend more time together anyway. I was thinking that we could do that over the summer.
Shizune's face turns as red as mine must be, and she starts adjusting her glasses, flustered. What an all-purpose gesture. She taps her fingers together in thought, considering her next words carefully. You mean like a date?
Just because we're going out somewhere that instantly makes it a date?
It's not? I want it to be a date.
Then it is one.
Shizune approvingly claps her hands once, before adding on to my statement. But not today. I'm going away for a week to visit my family. That is an oddly formal way of putting it, and for that reason, my interest is piqued. Maybe her family is the prim and proper traditional kind, living in a giant old-timey mansion with a little stream and koi pond, where everyone wears kimonos all the time. It's a wild assumption, but it's fun to speculate sometimes. I wonder if Shizune puts on the appearance of being a calm and mature good daughter like Lily when she's with her family. I can't imagine it, but if there's even a possibility that it's true, then I must see it.
Only a week? It must not be that far of a trip then.
Of course not. They're still in Japan after all.
Really?
It isn't like you can come with me. Is that what you're trying to say?
Why can't I?
It isn't like you would enjoy it.
You don't know that. It could be fun. I almost forgot. You didn't answer my question. Are you going alone, or is Misha going with you? Does your family know sign?
Misha's coming along. The part of the question left unanswered is the most telling. If Shizune's family can't communicate with her, I have to wonder what her childhood was like. She probably wrote everything on that pad she carries around and still produces out of nowhere sometimes. Usually it's when neither Misha nor I are around. I can notice her from far away when she pulls it out like a last resort, grimacing the whole time.
If Misha's going, then I'm going to go too.
Do you like Misha?
It's the principle of the thing.
I entertain the notion that Shizune might actually be jealous, but I doubt it. She usually wears her emotions pretty plainly on her face, and I don't see anything that would support my theory right now. I think you're just bored. That's okay, though. Alright, we'll all go together. It's what I hoped for in the first place. You can't skip out on student council today to pack your bags just because you're coming with us on such short notice, though. It's no excuse.
It's okay. I hardly have anything to pack anyway.
Shizune pauses, tending her fingers thoughtfully. You must have come to the school on very short notice. It could be that she is thinking back to the time when she and Misha unexpectedly shoved themselves into my room and caught a glimpse of all my medications. That was an awkward moment I'd like to forget, and I don't like revisiting it. The way she tiptoes around the issue even now only makes me more uncomfortable.
I did. It was kind of an on-the-spot decision. It worked out better than I expected, though.
I hope Shizune won't pursue the matter, and to my relief, she doesn't. It would be kind of sad if her family never learned sign for her. From the sounds of it, they never did. My home is in a particularly beautiful part of Saitama. We'll be leaving early in the morning, so be ready. Let's talk about it more later, okay? For now, those handouts won't look over themselves, and you're going to help me. As Shizune dives into her work, pulling me along with her, I think that she seems almost, but not quite, excited to go. When Shizune and Misha arrive early the next morning to pick me up, they are dressed in something other than the school uniform I've grown used to seeing them in. It makes sense since we're on holiday, but it's still jarring. Shizune's dress is sharp and fashionable, almost too much for a quiet place like Yamaku. Thinking back to what she wore at the Tanabata festival, I'm starting to notice a trend with her. All of her clothes are very tasteful and mature, very well thought out. So then, I wonder why she herself is so immature. What does that mean? Well, at least Misha's clothes reflect her inner self on the outside. You're bringing so little.
I said I would. I said there wasn't much to pack.
Shizune pouts and rocks her own rather large collection of luggage with her foot, as if embarrassed. Misha only has one suitcase with her, but it's almost larger than she is. She looks self-conscious about it as well. God, that suitcase is as big as a compact car. The pea green color is unsettling too. It's like something used to transport bodies. The way they look right now makes me want to tease them a little.
Oh, that's bad luck for you and Misha, isn't it? Having to carry those huge bags. Gotta pack light next time like me. Everything fits into one little suitcase.
Like James Bond!
Yes, exactly like James Bond.
Shizune gently tugs at her glasses in concentration. We should split the amount we carry equally. Wow, that's a great idea, Shi-chan.
What? No.
It would benefit us all. Yup.
I'm going to have to say no.
You're outvoted. She almost lunges forth as she signs it. Terrifying.
Oh, well, I was just kidding. I don't mind carrying a few extra. I just thought it would be fun to mess with you both. But if you were going to try and make me carry it all, I was going to ride that giant green case down the mountain like a sled.
That seems to make Shizune laugh, and she holds a hand up to her mouth to hold it back. It's like she's hiding it. I wonder if she can laugh. If not, that might be why she does that. That kind of makes me feel sad. With that taken care of, we head for the train station, and a very uneventful ride follows. Shizune and Misha manage to fall asleep almost instantly, but I find myself unable to. It's never happened before. Maybe it's my medication. When we arrive at Shizune's house, it's quite a bit larger than I'd envisioned it. Would be. I don't think huge would be much of an overstatement.
You live in a mansion?
Shizune indignantly stands up on her tiptoes and frowns deeply, having had my comment translated to her by Misha. It's as if she is saying, "How can you even suggest such a thing? How can you even suggest such a thing? This is just a normal house. Nothing as ostentatious as a mansion." Oh gosh, being struck by the air glitch. Hold on. Going to sup some water. I believe our definitions of those terms are quite different then. Hi-chan, are you surprised? Do you want me to point out where you'll be staying? I think we have a guest room, but I'm not sure if we have two. I'll check. It's no problem though, Hi-chan. Shi-chan and I can share a room if we have to. Well, unless hers is being used for something else now. Not sure. I'm starting to think Shizune doesn't spend a lot of time at home. Before I can make a joke of it at her expense, Shizune vanishes into the house and Misha goes with her, leaving me alone on the grounds. I don't want to follow them inside just yet. I put my bag down by the front door and take the opportunity to look around the grounds, just making a quick lap around the house. The thing is that I don't want to read too slowly, right? So I think I fumble a few more words in my haste. Even though it takes just a few minutes, when I get back, the first thing I notice is that my bag is gone and a tiny girl is in its place. She looks a lot like Shizune, although Shizune wouldn't wear red shorts and star and moon stockings.
Hi. Are you Shizune's little sister or something? No, I'm her little brother. My name is Hideaki. It's nice to meet you.
The voice that responds is straightforward, monotone, and also definitely male. I feel embarrassed to the point where I could almost turn around and leave right now if I could remember my way back to the train.
Are you the second person that my sister brought with her? Brought with her? I'm not luggage. Anyway, I'm Hisao. Did you take my bag? Yes. It is my right to keep anything I find on my property. No, it's not. That's not how it works at all.
I guess even particularly well-spoken little kids believe in the law of finders keepers. Even though I call him little, he doesn't seem that much younger now that I think about it. Maybe 2 or 3 years younger at most.
I gave it to Shizune. It's inside. Are you on the student council? Yeah, how did you know? Does she bring it up often?
I almost said, does she talk about it often? That could have been bad.
Yes, all the time. Do you get along with her? Get along? That's a weird question. I wouldn't be on the student council if I couldn't get along with her. What about you? Do you two get along?
Even though he has a monotone voice, his face is as expressive as Shizune's and belies how he really feels. It must run in the family. Looks like he isn't happy about my question for whatever reason.
I'm sorry. I was only asking because you both act so much alike.
I don't know why, but it feels like he's teasing me. Unfortunately, it works. I don't like being compared to Shizune.
You're a lot more like Shizune, but that's to be expected. I mistook you for her little sister even. If you don't want people to make that mistake, you should dress more appropriately. I don't understand. My clothes are perfectly seasonal. What's with the stockings? They are cool. You act like my sister. Eventually people will start mistaking you for her.
I guess my comment hit him harder than I thought. That would explain this attempt at turning it around.
I hate being compared to other people.
Shizune doesn't like it when she's compared to others either. I I'd thought that Hideaki was a little more mature than Shizune, but they have the same competitive streak and inclination to provoke people. I wonder if he's like this because of Shizune or if it's the other way around. And neither do you, right? Okay, I get it. I shouldn't be so petty. Especially to little kids. Hideaki seems to accept this as an acknowledgement of defeat, which is something that I feel like I can't let go. Nevertheless, I'll just have to let it go while I have the chance. I can hear Misha's laughter bouncing through the halls the moment I step through the door to the house, and follow it into what I guess is the living room. It holds more people than I'd expected. Among them, I spot a distinctive and familiar blonde ponytail. I'm more confused by why Lily is here than surprised. Shizune seems just as surprised. Lily doesn't look ecstatic about this chance meeting either. Sitting next to Lily is a tall, androgynous-looking woman in a sharp suit. I'd like to assume that it's her older sister, but I don't want to risk it. I didn't expect that you would arrive so early. At first, I think she's talking to me, but it turns out that she's referring to Shizune. I don't think Lily even notices my presence. I've clearly walked in on them mid-conversation, and it looks like with her focus on Shizune, she couldn't hear me. I should have rearranged my entire schedule for you. Chi-chan says I should have arranged my schedule just for you. That would have been nice, but I would not expect you to do such a thing. Oh, hi, Hi-chan. You're finally here.
Yeah. Hello, Lily.
Oh, Hisao. This is quite a surprise. Akira, this is Hisao, a schoolmate. Hisao, this is Akira, my sister.
Yo.
She holds up her hand in a brief and quite casual gesture of greeting. So she is the older sister after all.
I hope we're not messing up any of your plans. Since we're only going to be here for one more day, Lily and I thought she may as well come with me.
Akira turns to me. She feels compelled to explain. I am grateful for that.
I suppose my position here would be best described as a babysitter.
Akira ruffles Hideaki's hair as he carries on with his pastime of looking displeased.
That is demeaning.
Really? Maybe I'll change my title once you get a few more years on you, or at least a few more centimeters. They make an interesting pair, though Akira looks more like a lawyer than a babysitter. I'm still not really sure why both she and Lily are here, though. Taking a glance around the room, there are tennis rackets, golf clubs, and even a stack of fishing poles and tackle boxes secreted here and there. Behind every chair and every corner, and under every table, there is some piece of outdoor hobbyist equipment. I pick up one of the fishing rods and play with it.
This is a nice house. Shizune, it looks like your dad has a lot of hobbies.
For a moment, I forget what I say. I forget to sign what I say. But Misha's already in the process of interpreting what I said for her. I'm still a little impressed at how automatic interpreting is for Misha.
Do you fish? No, I don't know how. I kind of want to learn, as I heard it's relaxing.
There is a river only a short drive away. My whole family knows how to fish. If you want, we could go there sometime. You and Hideaki can fish? I didn't expect people your age to know, considering it's always seemed like a hobby for old men. You know, Lily is great at cooking. If we had some fresh fish... It's not hard to follow Akira's train of thought. If you want to eat fish, we could go to the store. Lily's voice sounds slightly more authoritative than usual. She really doesn't seem to share her sister's enthusiasm for the idea. It's more fun to go fishing. We could make it a game and try to see who catches the biggest one. That would be exciting, right? Yeah. Ki-chan, what do you think? It sounds fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely could be.
Sounds like a plan. I don't know how to fish either, so now's as good a time as any to learn. Her eyes shift towards Lily, who remains unmoved. This sours Akira's smile a bit, and makes me wonder why Lily's being so obstinate about this. I don't think we have enough fishing equipment for everyone.
We can take turns. It'll be a team battle.
What is she saying?
We can take turns.
She also wants to make it a contest.
Wee-woos.
Come on, Lily. We may as well make the most of it.
So, is this going to be a competition to see who can catch the biggest fish or the most?
It looks like the older sister understands better as always. Chichan says that she supposes Lily would prefer to go to the store, right? It's much less work, so it's natural that she would. Going fishing would be more fun, though, and save money. Akira, you have the right idea. Akira gives a gracious, if slightly stilted smile. Shizune's prize... She's getting lost. Shizune's praise wasn't her goal after all. Isn't the river quite far away?
I don't think it's that far, and I can drive if we have to. I'm okay with it, as long as you catch something. Can your car fit this many people? And a whole load of fishing gear on top of that?
She purses her lips as her fingers subtly move, counting up the amount of passengers and the required cargo. If we're going to be taking me, Shizune, Misha, Lily, Akira, and Hideaki...
6 people.
Damn, my car can only take 5. Actually, if Hideaki sat on my lap, we could.
I'm not sitting on your lap.
Oh. Shichan says that her father's car would be big enough.
What? The Fuga? If he doesn't mind us using it, then I guess we have no other choice. It feels kind of bad forsaking my car, considering I won't have it for much longer.
Despite Lily's obstinacy and Hideaki's questions of whether or not we'd prefer to eat first and bet on a fish dinner that might fail to ever materialize, there is no way to dissuade Akira and Shizune as they agree on the transport plan. My expectations of a somewhat relaxing drive through the countryside are fulfilled. Akira's driving is as smooth and peaceful as the surroundings, to the point where Misha falls asleep during the trip. I thought this trip would have been rather too slow-paced for Shizune's liking, but she seems to genuinely enjoy it. Even with Hideaki awkwardly sandwiched between her and the door, just keeps looking out of the window and smiling. The area surrounding the river is quite beautiful. Akira and Shizune head off for the river so quickly that we have no choice but to chase them. We would be left in the dust otherwise. I can see Hideaki and Lily are just humoring their siblings, Lily being the more unenthusiastic of the two. Misha seems as happy as ever, though. Looks like she managed to latch onto some of Shizune and Akira's excitement. As for myself, I'd rather eat now, but the thought of fresh fish prepared by Lily is appealing. The river is larger than I'd imagined, although very scenic and peaceful. Other than a small pier apparently built just to fish off of, this place looks untouched by civilization, and it makes me realize how much greenery I've seen lately. Shizune pulls Misha away so that they can explain how to fish to Akira. Lily and Hideaki are talking between themselves, so I decide to enjoy the enthusiastic trio. So which one of these lures should I use then? Can I use this cute little one? Wait, this is a contest. We need to pick teams first. Shichan and I will be on one team, of course. Hichan, you're going to be on our team too, won't you? We can be the student council team.
Okay.
Alright then. That makes me, Hideaki, and Lily the other team. Lily, what should we call ourselves?
I don't see why it matters. I don't think it matters. Team no enthusiasm it is.
Yet again, Akira's best efforts are rebuffed. Shizune and Misha, on the other hand, have no lack of enthusiasm whatsoever. Hisao, you can be our point man. Please try hard to catch as many or the biggest fish possible.
Why me? No one's even taught me how to fish yet.
You can do that now.
After a quick tutorial, Shizune immediately tries to draw us into a discussion about the strategy in a tag team fishing competition. Somehow, competition doesn't seem particularly applicable to a sport. Hold on. Gets my mouth to work. To a sport where you spend hours sitting down and hoping a fish bites a worm? It looks like Hideaki got stuck with a spare rod. You know, it's just a string tied to a bamboo pole, right? That means when deciding the order you should go against him.
What? Why me?
You have the least experience here, Hichan.
Yeah, so who's the best here? Shizune? Hideaki is your brother. He's probably just as good. He probably fishes all the time since he lives closer to a lake. He might even be better. Watching you three makes my head hurt. You know I'm only hearing 2/3 of the conversation, right? What's this about? Picking our lineup.
Akira makes a troubled face. She's getting impatient, which probably isn't too unreasonable. If you're impatient, that only makes me more excited. Now I want to play for higher stakes.
What's she saying? She wants to play for higher stakes. I wouldn't be too hasty. We have beginner's luck twice over on our side after all. The only way you'll be able to beat that is by catching a whole ocean.
This is a freshwater body of water, you marine biologist. A weird insult delivered with unblinking and innocent good cheer. Akira doesn't seem bothered. He laughs it off, and Shizune looks like her usual mischievous self again. I'm glad they get along.
So, are we going to pick teams or what? I'm getting kinda hungry.
Hisao, Misha, and I are on one team, and Lily, Hideaki, and you are on the other, aren't you?
I suppose that's the most obvious arrangement. Wouldn't mixing it up a little be more fun though? Eh?
You don't want to fish with your own sister?
Well, neither of us know how to fish, so putting us both on the same team is kinda...
It sounds like I've heard something kind of dangerous. I try to change the subject before Shizune can turn that incredulous look on her face into anything more.
So I guess you and Shizune know each other?
Sure do. We go way back. Akira throws a knowing grin at Shizune. It's not until Misha's finished translating what she said that Shizune gains a troubled face. Akira sure is different from Lily. Aside from how they look, she's much more informal and laid back. I expected Lily's family to be all proper and formal like her, so this is a surprise, but I feel like she's easy to talk to. As much as I like talking about catching fish, we should probably actually do it sometime. Would you suggest that there should be a lineup like in baseball? Or should it be everyone at once like a tag battle style? Can everyone sit wherever they want, or do teams have to stick together? Do we call where we fish? What fish sizes will we be counting? Seeing Akira groan after Misha dutifully translates for her, Shizune rubs her glasses, laughing silently. Never mind. Let's just fish then. It can be an individual contest. I sit down, ready to fish, although I'm not feeling very confident. Everyone else is already sitting except Akira, who takes a seat next to me, throws her line out after taking off her suit jacket and rolling up her sleeves. Misha and Hideaki end up sitting on the shore and fishing together, as there's not enough room on the pier for everyone. Truth be told, I'd rather be sitting next to Shizune, but Akira seems approachable enough. Careful there, you're a little close. Don't tangle our lines, Kate?
So you've never fished before?
No, but I've seen a bit of it on TV. I always wanted to catch one of those big fish with a sword for a face. Marlin, I think? If I recall correctly, those are from the ocean. They're saltwater fish. I know that. Why is everyone acting like I don't know the difference between freshwater and saltwater fish? If you aren't careful, you'll scare off the fish, saltwater or not. Akira's voice is somewhat loud between her attempts to both egg on Shizune and keep Lily entertained, so she may have a point. My line doesn't seem to be picking up anything, but I don't know how much of that is down to Akira. Shizune does her best to relax in the sun and pulls off the look very well, but I can tell that she'd be slightly put off by not knowing what's being talked about. Not having Misha around can be a real problem. Hisa, what's the score so far? Are we winning? I hope we are, given that I've entrusted you with our team's success. I managed to do some awkward signing with creative placement of my rod. It's probably close to being gibberish in spoken terms. You're, like, right there, can't you tell? Disappointing. You let yourself get distracted. You have to stay focused. I should have known. Well, it's 0-0 in any case. Akira chuckles, although it's clear that really took the wind out of her sails. Is it just numbers now, or are we keeping track of size too? Both. Grading matters. Who's going to be grading them? Are you a certified fish judge? Shizune shakes her head to signify that she isn't. But it doesn't seem like it would be very hard. Tell Misha to stop flailing her hands around like that. It's scaring all the fish away. And ask Hideaki why he hasn't even bothered to cast yet. I look over to the two and yell what Shizune said to them. Shi-chan, I think he's upset that he's stuck with the backup rod. Since Misha is largely unable to sign anything coherently right now, she only gets a puzzled look from Shizune for a reply. Shizune just sighs after I translate it for her. Thank you for the kisses, naughty smoots. I kiss back. Hey, even if you're depressed about it, you've got to try. You could catch the big one for all you know, but you won't catch anything unless you do. I feel that at least half of her encouragement is because if Hideaki does catch the big one, she wants to be there to eat it, and having 6 people fishing just leads to better chances of catching something than having 5. The constant awkward shuffling I have to do to communicate with Shizune, not to mention her increasing fidgeting, makes me think it might be good to give her a go at fishing. Hey guys, can we switch over now? Sure. Lily? No, please. I have no idea how to fish. I sign what they say, given that I seem to have taken Misha's place as Shizune's interpreter right now. How magnanimous of you, Lily. Oh boy, here we go. I don't bother translating what she says. Sophia is sparking another fight. Shizune says you should at least try. It might even turn out to be fun. Very well. Akira, how do you use this? It's pretty simple. I wonder how ethical it is to purposely, completely change what Shizune said like that. At least it paid off. I think I understand. What bait do you think would be the best to use? I'd prefer something that wouldn't hurt the fish too much. If you're putting a hook through their mouth, I don't think the bait's going to hurt them much more. I'm letting it go? No, don't do that. But if it isn't big, there's little point in killing it. With my hands freed, it's much easier for me to interpret what everyone's saying. Now, Shizune is the one that has to deal with her hands being full, but she seems to take it in her stride. That's so arrogant. Okay, I'll only reel in the big ones too from now on. What's she saying? Akira just sighs after I interpret for her. No, I don't like that only. You know, a fish is a fish, and you take what you can get. Unfortunately, Shizune can't hear her, and Lily doesn't seem to be paying much attention right now. Lily's taking to fishing easily. It's a very relaxed activity after all. It isn't long before they both catch a fish, and surprisingly, Lily is just as interested in which is the bigger of the two as Shizune is. As the hours pass, it seems like they're even starting to have fun. At the end of the day, We have several good-sized fish between us. Even Hideaki and Misha managed to catch one. No one brings up that we were competing to see who could catch more. I don't think it matters to anyone anymore. Shizune and Misha are talking between themselves some distance away, and Lily and Hideaki are doing the same. I decide to take advantage of the quiet moment to talk with Akira. Lily and Shizune got on well today. I didn't really expect it after seeing how they act towards each other in school. She gives an amused snort. It looks like she doesn't take their feuding as seriously as I do. They've got their reasons. Lily and I are going away for a while tomorrow, so we thought we'd just pop by. In the end, I'm glad we did. After a brief silence, she stretches loudly and then claps her hands to get everyone's attention. Well, it looks like enough to feed everyone. We should be getting back now. Lily nods but then hesitates. Even with her face clouding a bit, she still looks to be in a better mood than this morning. Akira really seems to know how to handle her and diffused her antipathy towards Shizune pretty well. Today's catch looks delicious. I kinda wish I had some soy sauce so I could just eat it now. I thought you wanted me to cook it. You don't think eating it raw would be okay? Despite Akira's protests or joking, as I can't tell which, we decide to wait to at least cook the fish before eating it. It's already become pretty late while we were out, and by the time we arrive back at Shizune's house, it's a good time for dinner. So we all went fishing with Shizune and her family and Lily. So, I'm going to save here. I'm going to pause and put down the Shizune route for today. But we made good progress, guys. We asked her out and got the okay. She gave us the okay. And good fishing, indeed. This is a little different from everyone's favorite fishing minigame inclusions, but it was nice to see everyone out there having a good time. But yes, so we're getting the girl, and now we're meeting her family. Everything's going pretty fast, but this is a whirlwind teenage romance so far. Thanks so much for hanging out. Our eyes off. Thanks so much for hanging out as we close away one chapter of Katawa Shoujo. We'll go on to I'm little. Let us become big. Thank you for listening to the read. I am mindful of the fact that a bunch of you seem quite excited about the Hit-chans. But as we progress into the route, we're slowly, getting to the meat and potatoes. I say this, the meat and potatoes of the Shizune route. Another fun stream. I'm glad if you enjoyed it. As always, Katawa Shoujo is a great game. For any of you who would be interested in reading it, please do. It is free to play. The content, the story is really amazing. The characters I really enjoy. And if it's possible, I'd like to get onto reading another route after we do this one. But who knows how long that'll take, given that I've been reading for like 5 hours, and it'll probably be at least another 5 hours before we can finish this one route. But slowly does it.
Is there a bun voiceover for it? That would be a bad idea. I don't think that would be a good idea. I don't think I could do a voiceover for games.
Oh no. Thank you for coming, Nari. Lots of bun. Yes. G'day, Jack. But yes, time for me to retire back into the coffin. A visual novel I've been waiting 4 years for just came out. What is it? What visual novel is that? Oh. Yes, yes. One will retire. Oh, curls into coffin. Always good to find new things to read. And speaking of things to read, I will probably upload the next installment of Alt Silence the Pendant Light Craved? Crabbed? Highly recommend. I have no idea what that's about from the title, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. For now, good night all. Another installment of Go to Sleep. Go to Sleep Frankenstein. See you soon. Thank you for today, and thank you for the fun time. Yes, always fun time. Good night.